So yeah, guys, this was basically the introduction. We're here with Spencer Hiko Martin. First off, it's been a while, a long time no see. How does it feel to be back on the field right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I haven't been here for like 8 or 9 months now. So coming back to the scene, seeing all my old friends and actually competing again, it feels great. Obviously up until this event, we've had a pretty solid run. We've been winning a lot of online stuff and qualifying for the major. So yeah, I mean, I think everything is going good, and I'm happy to be back.
So right after qualifying for the major, you had a couple of days off, but you didn't really have time to prepare since you only had 3 guys in Netherlands, I believe. So did you have time to like talk about whatever went wrong, if something did, in the qualifier, and did you have some space to be able to figure things out before this event?
I mean, we did the best we could. The reason why 2 of the guys actually had to go home was because they had school. So they were home, and then the change in time zones. There wasn't really much time to work as 5. I think we worked on stuff a little bit when we were in the Netherlands, the 3 of us, but we definitely didn't have time to like dry run stuff and go over everything in depth. So we're doing the best we can.
So considering that, what kind of expectations did you have going into this event, seeing as you're kind of a new team still, with you coming into the team like a month ago? So how are you guys feeling?
I mean, I don't think anyone had unreal expectations. I don't think anyone expected to come here and win. But it's definitely like we're trying the best we can. We're making it, we're making work with whatever we have that we actually have had in the past couple weeks. And even with that being said, like we're still a new team. I've only signed with them for like a month now, so it's still like everything is still very new, and we're still just grinding along. And I think this is like really, really good practice for us. Even if we do end up going 0-2 and placing last year, it's still really good practice for the major coming up, for all of our online stuff we have coming up. I mean, I think that's, a lot of people say like this team is very inexperienced and very, they don't perform as well on LAN as they do online. And I think something like a tournament like this helps tremendously. So hopefully we keep doing this. Hopefully we're able to, win some matches tomorrow, and yeah, just kind of keep going from there.
So you've already touched on it a little bit. This is kind of an experience thing for you. In front of the major, you still have like 3 more weeks after this. So do you see that as a really good way to prepare for the major, like a really good way to actually get a feel of how you're going to do against the top dogs, really? Because we have 3 of the top 5 teams here. Yeah,
I think it's a good way to measure where we're at. I think we'll do what we have. As we said, we couldn't really go over that much new stuff for this event. We'll do with whatever we have, and then that'll be like a good measurement to where we are and how much we have to work for towards the major. So kind of this is like our pre-boot camp. We're not going to actually have a real boot camp, so this will be like our boot camp. Online, we'll go over everything that went wrong, hopefully get better, and come back stronger for the actual major.
So let's touch on this event a little bit, since you've already had 1 match today, the first match of the day. Mirage was kind of tough for you guys, but Overpass was actually really close, and at one point you actually seemed like you were going to come out on top, because you were up 12-10 at CT. So what do you think happened? Just walk us through the match, how you were coming back on the T side and then CT side.
I think like we had a very good way we were holding the B side on our CT. We were just playing straight retake. Like we weren't taking any fights. We were letting them plan, and then we would go into like a retake setup with flashes and smokes and nades, and they didn't really seem to have an answer for it. And then something clicked in their mind, and they all of a sudden realized, hey, these Americans are starting to get rounds on us, and they started to just go away. And they were doing like little variations of what they were doing when we were just retaking on them, and it was just catching us off guard. And obviously like Snacks is just, we haven't had the opportunity to play against this player like Snacks, who just always is behind us and always is flanking and always is rotating at the right moment. So that was definitely a learning experience for everybody. And I think I don't want to say he single-handedly won them that game, but he played out of his mind, and he was just in the perfect position every time.
Yeah, and even won that 4K that they had in a crucial moment. Yeah, so tomorrow is going to come up one of the Fnatic and TSM, whoever loses that game. Can you say something about each matchup? What do you think is going to fit you better?
I think probably in their current form, probably TSM. I think like Fnatic just has that the #1 team kind of feel. They have so many just wild cards like Olaf, Flusha, Krims can go off at any moment. TSM is a little bit more team-based. They don't really have that like one really, really good superstar that just goes off and will just carry the entire team. Usually it's like sometimes Dupree, sometimes Device, Cajun B, like they all contribute. So I think like play styles alone, TSM probably suit us better because I feel like they play more like an American team. I guess both Fnatic and TSM both play pretty loose, but TSM plays like even looser to me. And they just kind of just run through and they like try to do like smokes on the fly and stuff. So I would rather play against TSM, I think.
All right, that's pretty much it, Hiko. Thank you for the interview. Always a pleasure talking to you, even though it's been a long time. Yeah, any final thoughts? Shout out to sponsors.
Yeah, obviously just shout out to all the fans who are out there always supporting us. All of my personal fans, my stream, all of the Liquid sponsors, and of course the family of all the players. And a special shout out to my mother. She's out there watching this. Shout out to you, Mom.
Shout out to Mom. This was the first interview from PGL Season 1 Finals. Stay glued to HLTV.org as we check out more coverage.